Hello, everyone. My name is Buffalo. Before today's story begins, if you enjoy fun adventures with the Zodiac animals, please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us share many more exciting stories in the future. Now, let me tell you about one of the funniest and most memorable days of my life. It all happened during a huge street festival held to celebrate students who had passed an important examination. The entire town was in a cheerful mood. Colorful banners stretched across the streets. Bright flags fluttered in the breeze. Music drifted from every corner of the festival. The weather was perfect. The sky was blue with only a few fluffy, white clouds floating lazily overhead. A gentle wind helped keep everyone comfortable despite the large crowds. The festival organizers had chosen the main boulevard because it was wide, clean, and lined with beautiful trees that provided shade throughout the day. There were food booths, game booths, music stages, art displays, and a large handicraft competition area. That handicraft competition was exactly where my friends and I were heading. As soon as I arrived, I spotted Tiger waving both arms wildly. Tiger nearly jumped onto a bench while trying to get my attention. Tiger said this, "Buffalo, over here. Hurry up." I walked over and asked what was happening. Tiger grinned and said, "We signed up for the handicraft contest." I blinked. "Wait, we did?" Tiger nodded proudly. "Absolutely." Before I could ask another question, Cat appeared carrying two enormous bags. The bags looked so heavy that I wondered if Cat had packed half the town inside them. I asked what was in the bags. Cat said, "Craft supplies." I asked, "How many craft supplies?" Cat answered, "Yes." Everyone laughed. A few moments later, Goat arrived. Goat was carrying scissors. Not one pair, not two pairs, 5 pairs. I stared. Tiger stared. Cat stared. Then I asked, "Why do you have 5 scissors?" Goat explained, "One for paper, one for ribbon, one for cardboard, one for emergencies, and one in case I lose the other 4. Tiger laughed so hard that he nearly fell backward. Just when we thought things could not become more ridiculous, Snake appeared. Snake was pulling a small wagon. The wagon was piled high with cardboard sheets, wooden sticks, colored paper, glue bottles, paintbrushes, yarn, ribbons, beads, markers, and tiny decorative lights. Tiger pointed at the wagon. "Snake, are we entering a handicraft contest or opening a factory?" Snake calmly replied, "I prefer being prepared." Cat looked at the mountain of supplies. Then Cat looked at Snake. Then Cat looked back at the supplies. Finally, Cat said, "If we're missing anything today, it definitely won't be craft materials." We all laughed again. Soon the contest host announced the challenge. Each team had to create a handicraft display representing hard work, learning, and success. The judges would evaluate creativity, craftsmanship, teamwork, and attention to detail. The moment the announcement ended, our group gathered around a folding table. Tiger immediately suggested building a giant castle. Cat suggested building a library. Goat suggested building a windmill. Snake suggested building a miniature school. Everyone started talking at once. The discussion became so chaotic that nobody could hear anybody else. Finally, they all looked at me. I thought for a moment. Then I had an idea. What if we build an entire festival street in miniature? The table became silent. Tiger blinked. Cat blinked. Goat blinked. Snake blinked. Then all 4 of them smiled. Tiger slapped the table excitedly. "That's brilliant." Cat nodded enthusiastically. "We can include students celebrating success." Snake pulled out a notebook. "We can design every detail." Goat grinned. "And add decorations everywhere." The project was officially underway. First, we needed a strong base. I volunteered for the foundation. Using large cardboard sheets, I carefully measured a rectangular platform. I marked straight lines with a ruler. Then I used a craft knife to cut along the lines. After that, I glued several layers together to create a sturdy surface. The base needed to support dozens of miniature structures. Once the platform was complete, I covered parts of it with green paper to create parks and grassy areas. Gray paper became roads. White strips became crosswalks. Tiny pebbles became decorative landscaping. Meanwhile, Kat began building miniature festival booths. Kat had incredible attention to detail. Using popsicle sticks, colored paper, and glue, Kat created tiny market stalls. One became a fruit stand. Another became a bookstore. A third became a souvenir booth. Each booth had tiny signs. Each sign had carefully written lettering. Each roof had decorative patterns. Tiger watched Kat working. Tiger said, "How are your paws so steady?" Kat replied, "Practice." Tiger looked at his own paws. Then Tiger sighed dramatically. "My paws have chosen chaos." That statement turned out to be surprisingly accurate. Tiger's job was decorating. At first, everything seemed fine. Tiger attached miniature flags to string. Tiger hung banners. Tiger placed colorful decorations around the model. Then, disaster struck. Tiger accidentally glued a ribbon to one paw. While trying to remove the ribbon, Tiger glued another ribbon to the first ribbon. While removing both ribbons, Tiger somehow attached a tiny flag to his ear. When we looked up, Tiger had decorations hanging from 3 different places. Tiger stood completely still. Then Tiger said, "I may have become part of the project." Everyone burst into laughter. Even Snake, who is usually calm, started chuckling. After several minutes of careful untangling, Tiger was finally free. At least temporarily. Goat was responsible for lantern construction. Goat folded colored paper into tiny lantern shapes. First, Goat measured equal sections. Then Goat folded each section carefully. Next came precise cutting. After that, Goat glued the pieces together. Finally, thin strings were attached for hanging. The miniature lanterns looked wonderful. The craftsmanship was impressive. Visitors walking past our table began stopping to admire them. One young student pointed at the lanterns and said they looked magical. Goat smiled proudly. Then Goat accidentally sat on one. The lantern flattened instantly. Goat stared at it. The lantern stared back. Nobody spoke for 3 seconds. Then Goat laughed. Soon all of us were laughing too. Fortunately, Goat built another one. And this time nobody sat on it. As the afternoon progressed, our miniature festival street started coming to life. Roads connected different areas. Booths lined the sidewalks. Lanterns hung overhead. Tiny paper trees decorated the parks. The entire scene looked vibrant and cheerful. Still, something felt missing. I studied the model carefully. Then inspiration struck. "We need people." Tiger asked. "Miniature people?" "Exactly." Everyone agreed. Cat drew faces on small paper circles. Goat created tiny clothing. Snake made hair using short pieces of yarn. I assembled the figures onto small cardboard stands. The result was surprisingly charming. Tiny students celebrated success. Tiny families walked through the festival. Tiny performers entertained tiny crowds. The miniature world suddenly felt alive. Hours passed. The sun slowly drifted lower in the sky. Golden afternoon light illuminated the festival. Our project looked better and better. Visitors continued gathering around our table. Many stopped to take photographs. Several children pointed excitedly at different details. One child spent 5 minutes searching for hidden decorations. Then the child discovered a tiny paper cat hidden near a miniature bookstore. Cat looked extremely proud of that secret addition. At that moment, Snake had a new idea. Snake said, "Our festival street needs a grand entrance." Tiger nodded immediately. "A giant welcome arch." Goat agreed. "That would look amazing." Cat smiled. "It would complete the entire display." So we began constructing the largest feature of the project. None of us knew it yet, but that welcome arch was about to create the funniest series of accidents the festival had ever seen. When we left off, our miniature festival street was nearly complete. The roads looked wonderful. The lanterns were hanging beautifully. The booths were standing proudly. The tiny festival visitors seemed ready to celebrate. Only one thing was missing: the grand welcome arch. And that was exactly when the trouble began. At first, the plan sounded simple. Snake opened a notebook and sketched the design. The arch would stand at the entrance of the miniature street. It would have 2 towers, a curved top, decorative flags, tiny flowers, and a banner that read, "Congratulations on your success." Tiger looked at the drawing. Then Tiger said, "This is easy." Whenever Tiger said, "This is easy," everyone immediately became nervous. Cat looked at me. I looked at Goat. Goat looked at Snake. Snake quietly sighed. We had all learned the same lesson many times before. When Tiger said something was easy, strange things usually followed. Still, we began working. I measured cardboard pieces for the support columns. First, I used a ruler to create equal rectangles. Then I carefully cut the shapes. After that, I folded the cardboard into hollow pillars. The hollow structure made them lightweight while remaining strong. Snake reinforced the inside using wooden craft sticks. The sticks were glued vertically to prevent bending. Snake explained, "A structure is only as strong as its foundation." Tiger nodded thoughtfully. Then Tiger accidentally glued a wooden stick to the table. It took 5 minutes to remove it. Next, Cat worked on the decorative surfaces. Using colored paper, Cat wrapped each pillar neatly. The edges were folded perfectly. The corners were crisp. Everything looked professional. Meanwhile, Goat created miniature flowers. The process was surprisingly detailed. First, Goat cut tiny circles from pink, yellow, blue, and purple paper. Then Goat carefully made small cuts around each edge. Next, the paper circles were gently curled. Finally, several layers were glued together. The result looked like real flowers. Tiny flowers, but still flowers. Tiger picked one up. Tiger squinted at it. Tiger said, "This flower is smaller than my thumbnail." Goat proudly replied, "That means it's realistic." Tiger looked impressed. Then Tiger sneezed. The flower disappeared. Nobody knew where it went. We searched everywhere. The table, the floor, the chairs, the supply boxes. Nothing. 10 minutes later, we discovered the flower stuck to Tiger's sleeve. Tiger claimed it had been hiding there intentionally. Nobody believed him. The curved top of the arch was the most difficult part. A flat piece of cardboard would not naturally bend into a smooth curve. Snake solved the problem. Snake explained that small cuts along one side would allow the cardboard to bend gradually. First, Snake marked evenly spaced lines. Then careful cuts were made. The cardboard slowly curved into shape. Everyone admired the result. It looked fantastic. Then came the banner. Cat suggested using elegant lettering. Tiger suggested giant letters. Goat suggested colorful letters. Snake suggested readable letters. After several minutes of discussion, we combined all 4 ideas. The banner was colorful, elegant, readable, and slightly larger than necessary. Everyone was satisfied, until Tiger volunteered to glue it into place. Tiger lifted the banner, applied glue, positioned it carefully, pressed it down, then realized the banner was upside down. Tiger stared silently. We stared silently. The banner proudly announced, "Seko sroi no snoidalatargnosi." Tiger cleared his throat. Maybe visitors can read upside down. Cat laughed so hard that tears appeared in Cat's eyes. Eventually we fixed it. Or, at least we thought we did. A few minutes later, Goat noticed another problem. One side of the banner was slightly crooked.